to go ahead and add the stop to the bottom of this before I cut the profile. That way I can shape it at the same time. So I'm just gonna plane down this piece. It's just a scrap piece of cherry I had. So now we've got that. I always put glue on both sides, or both pieces, to be glued. And spread it so it's even. Do that on both pieces. I may have put a little more glue than what I needed on here. Something I haven't really heard too many people talk about is if you spread too much glue on stuff, it will make clamping stuff together a little more difficult because it'll want to slide all over the place. Plus, too much glue leaves you with this, which is kind of ridiculous. There's no real need for that. I just went over with a damp rag, clean that up, just make sure it isn't too wet. You don't want water wicking into the joint and ruining your glue joint on the edges. Alright, we should be pretty much all set there. If you got any glue on your clamps, wipe them off before it dries. And now I just need to wait for a couple hours before I can continue on this. I normally finish my wooden screws with a 50-50 mixture of boiled linseed oil and either mineral spirits or turpentine. They get 3 coats. And then some wax. Baking tins are great. Just help contain the mess a little bit. There's that. I'll finish the actual vise once it's completely finished, but I figured I'd get a jump start on these while I'm waiting for that glue up to dry. Alright, so I'm about to cut the curve out here on this profile. Got the basic profile roughed out. I'll refine all of these facets and saw cuts with the chisel. So I went ahead and filled these little cracks and tear out with some epoxy. And now I'm just going to clean that up. So I've got most of these epoxy pretty much cleaned up. Because it's so hard to tell, what I'll do a lot of times is I'll spray a little bit of denatured alcohol, and then you can see where it's seeping in to the grain and where it isn't, and the denatured alcohol flashes off really quickly. So if you use water, obviously that wouldn't be good. It'd be wet for quite some time. Denatured alcohol, you're back to work in 3 minutes or less. All right. Looks pretty decent there. I'll probably give it a little bit more sanding, and then I think we'll call that good. All right, we're getting really close to being done with this. I've got everything all together, profiled here. Still need to chamfer everything just to make sure that we don't get any chip out or whatnot. Makes everything easier to use. Then I need to coat this all in finish. I'm going to add either a leather or cork pad to the inside of the jaws. And over here we're in plane, but right here this is up about a 30-second. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a hand plane, get this roughed in. So we've got that all sorted out. It's nice and in plane there. Now we just need to get these edges broken and chamfered, finish everything, get the pads on there, and we should be all set. Pretty good there. Edges seem to be pretty much chamfered. So I'm just gonna disassemble this. I'm gonna go find a pad for inside here. You can get corkboard rolls. That works pretty well for vise faces. This particular stuff is self-adhesive, and I've actually had that on my leg vise for the past couple of years, and it's held up pretty well. Clamp back together, trim off any excess. Alrighty, looks pretty good. I'm just going to tighten these up and leave this here for a little bit. And after dinner, I think I will come back and get this thing finished up, and then maybe try cutting a couple of dovetails. It's been a couple hours. Loosen this up, pull the screws out, get everything finished. We should be pretty much good to go. Alright, there's coat one. I'll just leave that to soak in about an hour I'll put another coat on. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do something about handles, but all right. Let's see how it holds up to a little bit of vibration from the saw. These aren't getting used for anything, just a couple of pieces of scrap. So now, I can just line that up. Mark out my waist. So even just hand tightening that works really, really well. I'm happy with that. Right. Mark out my waist again. And for what it's worth, these are some very quick and dirty dovetails. Let's just switch to a smaller saw. What I'll do, because I like to just raise the level of my work up to where I can see it and have good light, what I'll probably do is I'll probably make just a scrap piece here, glue a batten here, and that way I can just slide it in, drop it in, crank that down, and have a nice solid surface. I'll get to that at some point. But some very, very dry poplar. It does not particularly like to cut cleanly. But there we go. Vise works a treat. I'm very pleased with that. I'll just turn some handles for that. I don't know if I'm going to really show any turning content on this channel for a while, but if I do, I'll probably show making some handles. I do want these removable easily, and probably I don't even want them this long. Probably, maybe an 8-inch handle instead of the usual 12-inch that I use. Like that's just a little bit long, sticks up a little higher. I'd probably want these at the most maybe an 1/8 of an inch below this surface. So I'll probably do something with a slightly smaller handle there. Aside from that, I'm extremely pleased. Alrighty, we'll see you on the next one.